According to a new report, the Kansas City Chiefs are interested in a trade for Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf. On this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, we will get you the latest update on a potential trade for the Pro Bowl receiver, and we will react to this possibility. Does it make sense for the Chiefs to bring in DK? We'll discuss that and more coming up in just a bit. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We are wrapping up the month of February here on the channel. It has been an awesome month here on the Chiefs Report despite the Super Bowl loss. And I want to end the month on a high note. I would love to set our subs record for the month of February. The most subs we've had on a single video this month is 107. Not bad, but I know we can do better than that. Let's get 150 subs off today's show. We're bringing you live shows each and every week, daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We also, here at the Chiefs Report, are talking everything you need to know when it comes to trades, draft, free agency, and more. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. To subscribe now, you'll be glad you did. Tell all your friends, make sure they subscribe as well, and we'll get started with today's show. Could DK Metcalf be on his way to Kansas City? According to a new report, the Chiefs are interested in a trade for the Seahawks wide receiver, and this comes as Seattle is trying to figure some things out when it comes to their future, whether they're going to get an extension done with Geno Smith. Can they afford to keep DK Metcalf? Do they want to after the breakout year from the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba, who outperformed DK Metcalf this year? And they don't have a great salary cap situation in Seattle as well. So could they move on from him, and could Kansas City be the team he ultimately ends up with? KC Chiefs on SI wrote the following: there is a belief around the NFL that the Chiefs could be making calls to check the temperature with Seattle regarding a potential trade for Seahawk wide receiver DK Metcalf. The Chiefs have 4 draft picks within the first 3 rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft, and Metcalf is on the last year of a 3-year, $72 million extension. Personally, I'm a big DK Metcalf fan. I love me some DK Metcalf, and I'll say this: I may know a thing or two about him. If you know, you know. I'm very familiar with DK Metcalf and what he's done, and followed his career and time in the NFL in Seattle very, very closely. So if anyone knows anything about DK Metcalf, it's yours truly. I'm a big fan of his. I think he would be a great fit on this Kansas City Chiefs team and would add a whole nother element to the offense that's different from Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. I think it would be awesome to have him in this Kansas City Chiefs offense. The problem is not so much the capital that it would cost to bring in a guy like DK Metcalf in his talent level. It is the price tag. It is not going to be cheap to pay DK Metcalf the final year of his current contract, but then also extending him to keep him around, because you're not looking to make a trade like this for just a rental of sorts. His cap hit going into next year is close to $32 million. If you were to extend him, then you would be looking at a price tag of about 3 years, $76.5 million, according to Spotrac. And with that said, of the extension, that would likely lower his cap hit for this upcoming season. But nonetheless, you can get a trade without giving up a ton, because the wide receiver market has dwindled when it comes to the price tag. A guy like DK a couple years ago, if you wanted to trade for him, it would have cost you a first-round pick. His production is nearly the same that it was a couple years ago. He is a little bit older, but it's not going to cost you much in draft picks as it would have, but it will cost you more in money. Should the Chiefs trade for DK Metcalf? It's our pinned comment today. You got 2 options here. Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in the comments section and let us know if they should make a trade for him or not. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about our sponsor. That is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And on Prize Picks right now, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this basketball season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks, whether it's fantasy points in football, maybe it's rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. And I'm already looking ahead to the start of the football season. We mentioned DK, whether he's in a Hawks uniform or he's here in Kansas City, I think he's going to go for over 1,000 yards. I got Patrick Mahomes to also go for more than 27.5 passing touchdowns as well. If I put $20 down and both those hit, that turns into $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Now, when I look at DK, this is a guy who I think would thrive alongside Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. And you think about the quarterbacks that he's dealt with. Geno Smith is okay. He's not great. You had Russell Wilson, who was just kind of the same thing, okay, but not great. He has not played with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. I would think that DK's play could elevate a whole nother level, and another element with the vertical threat that he brings, it could be a cheat code for this Chiefs offense. And it'd just be one of those things where you just have to chill out for a little bit. Like, whoa, okay, like this is something, right? DK, former second-round pick out of Ole Miss, two-time Pro Bowler, second-team All-Pro in 2020. And he had the most receiving yards in a single season in Seahawks history back in 2020 with 1,303. He also holds the Seahawks franchise record for most 50-plus receiving touchdowns, 50-plus yards. He also holds the Seahawks franchise record for most multi-touchdown games in a row as well. And you look at his stats, he has been very consistent. The Seahawks have gone through a lot of changes, moving on from Pete Carroll to Mike McDonald, moving on from Russell Wilson to Geno Smith. But the one constant for Seattle has been DK, who gets nearly 1,000 yards every season and has been dynamic, getting somewhere between 12 and 15 yards of reception every time he takes the football field. What I'm looking at is, because the Chiefs don't have a fifth-round pick this year, giving up a fifth-round pick next year on top of the 63rd overall pick in exchange for DK Metcalf. Now, I don't know if Seattle's going to trade DK Metcalf. I honestly, if you were to put a gun to my head, I would lean towards they're not going to trade DK Metcalf. I think they are going to extend him. But this might be as good of an offer as they are going to get if they do end up trading DK Metcalf. And let's be honest here. There was a point in time where the Chiefs had a chance to have DK Metcalf for themselves in the NFL draft just a few years ago. Brett Veach, as good as he's been, arguably the best GM in the entire NFL over the last several seasons, this was one where he missed, where they could have had DK Metcalf, and it ultimately did not work out. He passed on DK, and that's something that he's lived to regret. Brett Veach said this not too long ago on DK Metcalf. Sometimes you don't take guys, and fans do the mock drafts, and they go through them years later and are like, we should have taken this guy or that guy. I think looking back on DK, there were areas that we weren't sure on, but there were none maybe that we should have prompted us to bypass. I think that's one player that sticks out. Well, Veach, here's your shot at redemption. This could be redemption time for the Kansas City Chiefs to potentially make up for the mistake of not drafting DK Metcalf when they had the opportunity to do so a couple of years ago. And you might be overhauling your wide receiver room in 2025 to begin with. Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, McCole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Justin Watson are all going to be free agents this offseason. Who's coming back? That all remains to be seen. But I'll tell you this, DK, he's far better than any of those 5 receivers we just mentioned. All right? You would be a lot better off with DK than you would be with any of those 5. He would cost you more, and you'd have to trade for him. But with that said, I think it could be worth your while. Think about this, all right? The receiving core that involves DK, Xavier Worthy, coming off a very good rookie season, and Rashee Rice coming back from injury. That's a dream. Some would call it a 3-letter word dream. I'll leave it at that for the kids at home watching. I love the idea. Who's stopping that offense at that point? Travis Kelce and Noah Gray are also involved there. Pacheco's back. Potentially get some help in that running game. I'm all in. If Seattle does end up shopping DK Metcalf, I'm raising my hand loud and clear and said, bring him. Bring him to Kansas City. You can have a lot of fun with DK Metcalf there. Who's a wide receiver the Chiefs should bring back? Of those 5 names we talked about that are set to hit free agency, who comes to mind that you would like to see return to the Kansas City Chiefs in 2025? Give me a name in the comment section below. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the latest happenings of your favorite team all offseason long. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.